My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom. Yeah.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jan Faria and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play. Ready? Play.
Draw of Marketa Vondrousova, which sees Aryna Sabalenka proceed to the semi-finals, where it's going to be a repeat of last year's final as she comes up against Jessica Pegula. Shall we do, while we're here, Jake, I'm glad you're here. Stay with me, because I'm going to do a quick preview of Pegula against Sabalenka. First of all, let's have a quick look at the head-to-head. I'm going to guess that it's 7-5 for Sabalenka. 7-2. Okay, much more favourable than I thought for Aryna. Of course, the most memorable of those wins would have been last year in that US Open final. I think it's a matchup that's pretty good for Aryna Sabalenka. I know her team, for example, when they knew that Aryna was in the final and it was Pegula against Mukova on the other side of the draw, they were very keen for Pegula to be her opponent in that final. Of course, that materialized, and it was a tough final. I think it was a really high quality final, but it was kind of Aryna more or less in charge. She might have gone down a break at some point in that second set, but ultimately prevailed and was the better player, not just that day, but throughout the tournament last year. I said earlier that I think Aryna's been a little bit lucky with the draw. We'll come back to some of the previous matches shortly, but let's have a quick look at Sabalenka's draw. And the reason why I think she's been a bit fortunate is because first of all, the first 2 or 3 rounds were favorable. We can remove that video, by the way. Yeah, the first 2 to 3 rounds were favorable, I think, for Aryna. Masarova, Paulina Kudermetova, and Leylah Fernandez. Leylah is, of course, got some of the defensive skills that we have seen Coco demonstrate, but ultimately she's just not got Coco's serve. And she's also probably not quite has got as much power, especially on the backhand, as Coco. So eventually, I think Aryna was always going to avenge that defeat that she had to Fernandez in the US Open 2021 semi-final. Where I think, as in particular, though, Sabalenka got lucky is, of course, that 4th round. She plays Buxa, who beat Alex Ayala, by the way. I even think Ayala may have been a more difficult proposition than Buxa at the round of 16. But in particular, Clara Towson, who went out to Alex in the first round. I think that was a real stroke of luck. And then another stroke of luck today, because I think Vondrousova would have been a really tricky opponent for Aryna, the way that Marketa has been playing this tournament. And of course, she has the mentality, and I think she has the game to trouble Aryna. That's not me suggesting that Aryna would have lost today, but I think it would have been a tough battle, possibly 3 sets. And of course, Marketa beat Rybakina in the previous round, which I think would have been a huge hurdle for Sabalenka to overcome, in particular because she's had losses to Rybakina. I remember a brutal one pre-Australian Open 2 years ago, I think it was. Also losing in India Wells final, and then also very recently losing to her in Cincinnati. So yeah, I think she was fortunate that Vondrousova knocked that out of the way. And I also think even Pegula as a semi-final opponent isn't bad for Aryna. We'll come to my prediction shortly. I really do want to hear as well your thoughts in the live chat on this semi-final between Pegula and Sabalenka. Jake here saying, I think if Aryna executes, she wins. If she's slightly off, more possibilities, even in a favourable matchup for her. But isn't that the case maybe on a hard court for Aryna? maybe even on a grass court for Aryna against everyone. It is kind of on her racket. I think Sabalenka and Rybakina are probably the only. Sorry, I think Swiatek, Sabalenka maybe as well as an opponent in so many ways, but I think Swiatek and Rybakina are probably the only two players that can take it out of her racket. I think Coco Gauff has all the skills to frustrate and thwart and stymie Sabalenka, but ultimately, if she could just keep going, then she would ultimately win those lengthy rallies. But more often than not, she's not able to, which is why, in particular, we saw it in Paris this year of how she struggled. But I think there was a win factor there as well. But maybe even some mental issues as she was getting more and more frustrated as she was spraying shots left, right, and center. Let's have a quick look at Pegula's path to the semis. I think Pegula maybe as well has had a draw-dependent run. I think Sheriff, by the way, on a hard court is a wonderful first-round opponent for Jessica. And I know you're going to say that, well, Jessica is the fourth seed. She's going to come up against somebody unseeded in that first round. Yeah, but the aforementioned Alex Yalo is not seeded, and I think she would have been difficult. Barbora Krejcikova, not seeded, although I know she played her in the quarterfinals, would have been more difficult. And so would Emma Raducanu, in particular, I think, would have been a very interesting first-round matchup. And there was quite a few dangerous floaters. So to get Maya in the first round. However, blink of a second round and to win it 1-3 is an impressive result. Blinkova can have those kind of days, and perhaps she had it that day on Arthur Ashe as well. Azarenka, close your ears, Jake. I think in Azarenka's form this year, not a bad third round. Fourth round, Anne Lee. And then Krejcikova today. Now, you could say that's an impressive win, and I guess it was. But I think Krejcikova was so flat today. I know Barbora, of course, had an epic previous round win, including saving those 8 match points, but then she also had to overcome Navarro in the previous round. I just felt Barbora was really flat today, and that contributed to the comfort with which Jessica won, although perhaps she would have won it either way, perhaps even in 3 sets if necessary. Just having a quick look anyway forward as well to this Sabalenka Pegula encounter. Let's have a look at the head-to-head. I favor Aryna versus everyone except maybe Igor and Clay. Always felt that way. Yeah, that does make sense to me as well. I think against Igor and Clay, I would favor Igor, even though, of course, Aryna did beat her earlier on this year, but perhaps that Igor was just a bit short of her best that day. But Pegula's the sort of player that makes you beat yourself when she's at her best. Yeah, I just think that but that first sentence at least sounds a bit like Coco in a way, but I think she's a bit more aggressive than Coco. Probably plays with a bit more margin in some ways in terms of when Coco is on the offensive. Perhaps Coco can paint lines or even miss quite badly, whereas Pegula plays with a bit of margin. So I guess that is an element of conservatism there, but she doesn't defend as well as Coco, which I think could be a very useful tactic and useful skill to have against Aryna. But Pegula, I think, she does make you earn the win, I think, which is true. It's a compelling semi-final, I agree, but I do think that Aryna is the favorite. I think it might well go 3 sets, and I think then it'll also come down to a mental battle, and I wonder if it's mental. Maybe then the edge just goes a bit towards Jessica, just in terms of the year that Sabalenka is having. If Pegula hadn't been in a US Open final before, then I would suggest that the pressure suddenly swings her way. But she's been in a US Open final before. The real pressure point for Jessica will be in that final, should it materialize. Let's have a look at the head-to-head as I promised. 7-2, very much in Aryna's favor. That did surprise me slightly. Good to see that the WTA website has 9 singles titles for Jessica, but has put 0 for Aryna Sabalenka. Well, we know that's very much not true. Let's at least in terms of look at their Grand Slam pedigree. Aryna Sabalenka has been in, I think, 5 Slam finals. And let's have a look at how many semifinals Aryna Sabalenka has been in. I would imagine it's double digits for her. Whereas this is just the second Grand Slam semi-final for Jessica Pegula. She has been in, don't know, lots of semi-finals. So she was in the semi-finals of Wimbledon, the US Open in 21. So that's 2. She was in the US Open semi-finals of 22. And then in 23, she racked up another 4 semi-finals that year. In 24, she racked up another 3. And then this year she's been, so I think it's 13 Grand Slam semi-finals for Aryna Sabalenka. And she's won 5. I'm just going to check this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My bad. 12 Grand Slam semi-finals. And she's won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 from 12. It's a much more favorable record than it was going into her 2023 semi-final against Magdalenette in Australia. I think she'd lost all of her previous 3 semi-finals to that, 1 at Wimbledon and 2 in New York. But once she got over that hurdle, and it was probably a more favorable hurdle, then she was on her way. She's won a Grand Slam in each of the last 2 years. Of course, last year she won 2 Grand Slams, both on a hard court in Australia and in New York. Pegula, by the way, has been in 1 Grand Slam semi-final and she's won it. Jake here saying, by the way, Pegula is just super solid and tough from the ground. It is an interesting matchup, I would suggest. Every match for Sabalenka kind of feels like a showdown because she's expected to win pretty much every match. And I think she expects to win every big match. Big pressure on anyone. Yeah, I think you're right. I think when it starts to go wrong, it's really interesting. But by the way, I'm not here to say when it starts to go wrong, she can't pull it back. I've also seen her pull back matches as well. But I've seen her grab defeat from the jaws of victory a few times, probably a few more times than grabbing it in a Rafa-like way, grabbing victory from the jaws of defeat, if you follow. But yeah, I think it's a fascinating matchup. We will just have a quick look at those previous matches. By the way, the 7-2 head-to-head that we touched upon earlier. Of course, Sabalenka is number 1 in the world right now, whereas Pegula is number 4 in the world. I have said previously, by the way, that I think Pegula's form has been patchy over the last 12 months, but really this run does a lot to repair that suggestion and probably can go contrarian against my suggestion that since New York last year, she hasn't played that well. I think she's played well in spells in this tournament. She played actually well in Bad Homburg as well, winning that tournament there. And she's won other tournaments this year. I just didn't really see her delivering against the big players this year. Unlike last year, of course, when she beat Iga Swiatek in the quarterfinals, I think it was. But I also have seen her have some, disappointing losses, and none more so perhaps than her first round loss to Cocciaretto at Wimbledon, when I thought she was going to have a really good run, having won Bad Homburg. Anyway, their most recent match came in Miami earlier on this year in the final of Miami that Sabalenka won in straight sets. And of course, she won that US Open also in straight sets. And I've got a feeling that Pegula might have been leading that second set 5-3 at one point and may have been serving for it. Or it might have been 5-4, but I think she was serving to the second set. But once Sabalenka broke, he just felt that the momentum was back with her, even if it had gone to a tiebreak. Sabalenka also winning on straight sets in the Cincinnati final as well. And then the last Pegula win came at the WTA finals in those very blustery conditions and rainy conditions as well at times in the WTA finals in Cancun in 2023. So their last 3 matches, so it was a 4-2 head-to-head, but in the last 13 months or so, Sabalenka has pulled away to make it 7-2, and she's not dropped a set to her in the 2 years since those WTA finals. Of course, the WTA finals was on a hard court as well. The previous year in the WTA finals, Sabalenka won. By the way, interestingly, they've only had one 3-set match. That was their first encounter in 2020 in Cincinnati. So every match since then has been straight sets, albeit that we can see some 7-5s in here, quite a few 7-5s actually. So we've had their last 3 sets, by the way, in or 3. We had 4 sets in a row here. Look, between Cincinnati and Miami, they had 4 sets in a row that were 7-5. It's a bit of a quirky scoreline, and therefore to have it 4 sets in a row is quite quirky as well. But I think we're going to have our first 3-setter between them since their first encounter, so since 5 years. And but I'm going to go with Sabalenka to emerge the winner. Let's address a couple of these questions in the live chat just quickly. Pegula has more about her than Fritz, I think, as well as Sinner being Sinner too. Okay. What are you thinking in terms of percentages, Silky? If you're talking about Sabalenka Pegula, 60-40 for me, and therefore 60-40, you sort of go, okay, tough 2 sets, but possibly 3 as well. Here's a question, says Jake. Peggy has US Open final experience now, but do you think the fact it's a semi helps her too, or doesn't make that much difference? I think it does help her a little bit, because if she hadn't been in a semi-final, which was the case a year ago when she came up against Mukova. But no, I think she's pretty good under pressure, Jessica. I know she had that lengthy spell of just getting to quarterfinals at slams and never getting beyond that stage, but she broke through finally at the US Open last year. I think she actually has a better chance of winning this being a semi-final than it being a final, funnily enough. I think a final, having only been in one before and not won it, and in New York as well, against an opponent such as Aryna Sabalenka, who's won this title in the past, and is, by the way, trying to get to her 3rd US Open final in a row, which feels like a bit of a record. I think that probably hasn't been done since Aryna Sabalenka. In fact, of course, no one has retained, since Serena Williams, no one has retained the US Open women's title, which is obviously what Aryna's trying to do, since I think Serena Williams. Let's have a quick look when that was. That will have been 2013, 2014, and Serena actually had 3 in a row at that point, between 2012 and 2014. Yeah, since then, Sabalenka, by the way, is trying to go for her 3rd final in a row, which is also something that I think hasn't been done since Serena did it between 2012 and 2014. In fact, Serena was on a run of 4 finals in a row there, because she lost to Sammy Stosur in the 2011 final. And yeah, no one's done it since. But of course, we've got another quirky stat out there, which is, of course, it's that Naomi Osaka, when she makes a quarterfinal of a slam, she wins it. Well, we'll see if that comes to fruition as well. But finally, yeah, I'm going Sabalenka in 3 sets. Good question here as well. So, by the way, Jake is probably going a little bit more heavily towards Aryna of 65-35 or 70-30. Curious where we put Sabalenka amongst the greats. Well, on this topic, very interesting. If you go back to, I think it's towards the end of the interview that I had with Gavin McMillan, of course, a guy that was a biomechanical coach for Aryna Sabalenka, who's now working with Coco Gauff. You know, he said in that interview we had a year ago that that's the next goal for her, to become an all-time great. I think to do so, you're right, it does become surface dependent. And the thing is, she is the player that begins every year, in my opinion, as the one who could win all 4. And she's kind of proven that again this year, despite not winning any of the 3 slams this year. But she's the one going into every slam, and she's either the favorite in many respects, depending on her form. But if her form is okay, she's the favorite in Australia right now. She's the favorite at Wimbledon, and she's the favorite in the US, even though she's never won Wimbledon. She's the one who I think even better than Iga Swiatek right now, and even better than Barbora Krejcikova or Marketa Vondrousova, the previous winners of Wimbledon. She's the one who has even more of a game for grass and the results that back it up in a way, in terms of consistency on that surface, than anyone else on the tour. And yet she's not been in a Wimbledon final. But again, this year, you know, we're looking at final, semi-final, and at least another semi-final in New York. She's just constantly there in the slams. And as I was just checking her Grand Slam record since 2021, I'm going to share it with you on the screen right now. I mean, look at this line in the sand that we can draw in 2021 and reaching those semi-finals. Now, you could even go, maybe even draw that line in the sand of 2022, perhaps, maybe even more importantly. 2022, that run, by the way, ended by Iga Swiatek in the semi-final match that I was at. And Aryna probably should have won that match, but maybe then there was some even more mental fragility than today in terms of the fact that she'd never made a final, and that was her third semi-final loss. She was up a break in that third set. She was arguably the better player, but Iga, with her mental strength, I think helped her get back into that and eventually get over the line. I think 6-4 in the third, but it was a really, really entertaining match. And yeah, fully worth the money. But yeah, if we look at the line of the sand being here, she has been in the quarterfinals or beyond of every Grand Slam she's played since then. There is, of course, the Wimbledon missing from 2024 when she had the shoulder injury she picked up in Berlin. But yeah, she makes the quarterfinals or beyond. And even she's made the semifinals or beyond in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10 of her last 11 Grand Slam appearances, she's made the semifinals, which tells you again, she's the one equipped to potentially do a calendar slam. But I did think that this year was the year for her to do it in terms of, you know, Iga had that off period, didn't she, in the clay season, as it turned out. I don't think that's going to happen every year. I think Aryna's age as well is something, as that we are approaching the peak years of her career now as she enters the mid to late 20s. There'll be other challenges as well. I still think there's a Wimbledon title out there, but you know, that semi-final loss to Anisimova, boy, oh boy. I mean, again, probably she should get over the line there, and for sure she'd give Iga a better final opponent than Amanda did, but don't tell Snarehill. Yeah, so that's where we're at. But yes, she needs probably to win, unlike Iga, who's now got the 3 surfaces done. And I think Iga probably is an all-time great as a result of that. You know, she's got the US Open hardcourt. Yes, it's nice to get the career slam. But Aryna's a bit further away because she's only won hardcourt slams. And I think she's going to need at least one on another surface, but probably both surfaces. And for me, the French Open is the most difficult. And again, there was a chance this year. She goes up a break. She goes up a set to love. And she seems like she's actually then going to move away from Coco in that second set, but it just didn't happen. And Coco didn't go away and deserves all the credit for that. Calendar Slam, she's the most likely to do it. But I think if she gets the full set at some point in her career, if she doesn't get the full set, yeah, I agree. I agree. I think we probably will try and cover the Alex match tomorrow, Pia. So please do join us for that. Hit that notification bell, by the way, so make sure you get alerted to whenever we go live for her matches. Yeah, Calendar Slam, she's the most likely to. But yeah, I think you might be right, Jake. I think the French Open is a bit of a stretch, but listen, she needs to win at least one of the French or Wimbledon at some point. I also think this slam race that could have been developing this year, she wins a couple of slams. But unfortunately, of course, with Iga pulling away now, Iga's got 6, hasn't she? And Aryna has 3. But will we get an Iga Swiatek, Aryna Sabalenka Grand Slam final finally? And who would be the favorite there? Well, that's for another day. See you soon for Djokovic against Taylor Fritz. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. There were some Australian Open final vibes for me today, and I was looking at a couple of comparisons. Australia was 2 hours, 28 minutes. Today was 2:26. I'm sure you weren't aware of that. But I'll tell you, 4 championship points. Does that sound familiar? And were you thinking of it during that last game?
Actually, yes, I was thinking when I was down with the break in the last game, I was thinking, okay, I did it at the Australia Open, so probably I'll be able to get this win this time again, and it's actually helped me to stay focused and to have this belief in myself. And yeah, definitely this match reminds a lot of Australia Open match.
Ready. Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. Hey, thanks for taking the time to, well, you haven't got any choice, actually. I'm just talking at you, if you like. But I'm here also to present to you why I think it's not a bad idea and not that expensive as well if you become a member. And this is how you can do it, and this is what you can gain. So if we look here at the Talking Tennis sort of homepage, if you like, on YouTube, we can see this little button here which says join. It is also pinned in the live chat as well, and you can also, I think, see it just below most of our videos, certainly the live ones and so on. Now, why is it a good idea to join and become a member? Well, in the live chat, you can add little funny things, you can add emojis and all sorts of things, but possibly more importantly, you can get to access some live videos, such as this one here, where we look back on the last sort of few moments from the Billie Jean King Cup. So there are little bonuses such as this one, but there are many, many more. And in fact, if we have a quick look at all of the members only stuff, I repeat, you will see very, very quickly some of the top stuff that we've had for members only over the last 12 months. Since the channel began. Remember, these videos are for members only. You can become a member from as little as about $2 a month, €2 a month, £2 a month, something like that. There are various different things. Oh, and by the way, you'll also be supporting the channel. So it's a win-win-win-win scenario. Let me just show you some of the members only stuff. For example, we've got an exclusive little clip there talking to Laura Siegmund, Laura Tsurenko, her encore interview, some doubles footage there from Monastir, the Germany press conference pre-tournament Billie Jean King Cup, Claire Burrell talking as well to the media in her press conference in Monastir, Storm Hunter and Alicia Parks interview, Rebecca Masarova, her press conference, Coco Gauff exclusive for members only, albeit it was in Madrid, but these are just some of the things, some of the interviews and etc. Like Lestien here, a chat with him, Emma Navarro, and so on and so forth. So many little bonus videos available for just €2 a month. So, what are you waiting for? Become a member. Or don't. It's okay. She's now going to come up.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans, and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Samaz, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jaime Faria, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Yes.
Take one. Well done.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paulini, and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Ready? Play.
There well may be a storm brewing here tonight in many senses. Welcome to one of the most star-studded women's Final Fours in recent U.S. Open history, beginning with a semifinal that feels like a final, because last year it was the final. World number one and the reigning Open champion Aryna Sabalenka once again faces the home favorite of all the U.S. homers here in New York, Western New York's own Jessica Pegula, tonight trying to land the biggest win of her career. Welcome to this amazing night of women's semifinals. Hello, one and all. I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome to New York, and thanks for having us in for the match. We are extremely excited for what this night presents to us, starting with this rematch of last year's final between Aryna Sabalenka and Jessica Pegula. Both players have been in great form in this tournament. Neither have dropped a set. For one, being Sabalenka, that is no surprise at all. For one in Pegula, perhaps it is a great surprise that she has looked as good as she has here on the road to these semifinals. Let's start with Sabalenka, who has not played since Sunday night, did not have to play her quarterfinal against Marketa Vondrousova, so not as much mileage on the motor coming in to this semifinal here tonight. She knows how to win this tournament. She knows well how to win these hard court Grand Slams, as you well know, and she has made very little drama of the four matches that she has played against Masarova, Kudermetova, Leylah Fernandez, of course, the former finalist here, and the Spaniard Buxa, winning in straight sets in all four of those matches, and she has looked very solid while doing it. For Jessica Pegula, she's the first woman since Serena Williams to make back-to-back semifinals here without dropping a set. And as I mentioned, perhaps this is a surprise to many that she has looked this good, because the build-up to this U.S. Open looked very dire indeed for the Buffalo, New York native, age 31 now. But she has been terrific. She, at some points in this tournament, has barely dropped games, beating Sharif, Blinkova, Azarenka, Lee, and in the quarterfinals, Krejcikova to get to this point. But she has not faced a seeded opponent to this point. Not only does she face, of course, a seeded opponent tonight, she faces world number one in Aryna Sabalenka. But just to talk a little bit more about Pegula and how, for many, and I'll raise my hand on this is a surprise that she has gotten to this point while looking so good, because she lost first round at Wimbledon, we know, in just a highly disappointing upset loss to Elisabetta Cocciadetto. Since then, she came back to North America to play 3 hard court tune-up tournaments for this U.S. Open. She won a total of 2 matches across those 3 tournaments in Washington, D.C., Montreal, and Cincinnati. But here she is, having not dropped a set, and on to the semifinals she is at this U.S. Open. As we said, a storm may well be brewing in many senses tonight. The roof is closed because there is rain in the area here on this September Thursday night as we get ready for the first of these two cracking semifinals to get started. Sabalenka serves first with a high ball toss, puts it down to the forehand of Pegula. Cross-court, the backhand, Sabalenka well-controlled. Pegula, defensive lob. Sabalenka up to the net, confidently strikes a swinging overhead winner, and that's the way this one gets started. It's the 10th meeting between the two. Sabalenka owns a near exclusive 7-2 advantage in the head-to-head with Pegula, and she's won 3 in a row. Sabalenka serves out wide. Pegula bats the return back, stepping in for an off forehand, but missing it as Sabalenka, she sprays that one, and it's 15-all. 3 straight wins in the head-to-head by Sabalenka have all come in straight sets. In fact, these two have only gone 3 sets once, and that was in their first meeting 5 years ago in Cincinnati. 2 totally different players 5 years ago. Sabalenka strikes a serve up the tee and misses at 115. Pegula has not really played hard hitters to this point in the tournament. Now she faces the hardest of all the hitters as Sabalenka serves here. 88 on the second serve, but Pegula unable to control the return. The forehand slides wide. It's 30-15. Just one meeting so far this calendar year between the two. That came in the final in Miami. Sabalenka up the tee on the serve. Again, Pegula rifles the return wide. And Sabalenka, aside from the one easy miss, looking smooth in this opening service game, 40-15. She's at the far end of the court. Dribbles the ball only twice, starts the service motion, comes down, up the tee. Pegula's return, blocked back and long, and Sabalenka with a confident service hold to start. And we're underway in this U.S. Open semifinal. Last 3 meetings between these two have all been in finals and high-profile finals. They met, as I mentioned, in the Miami final earlier this year, the U.S. Open final last year. Before that, the final in Cincinnati last year. So they are used to playing each other a lot, and they're also used to playing each other in big moments, big occasions like this. Of course, as I mentioned, Sabalenka won all 3 of those finals that these two have contested. It's the 3rd time they played each other in a major. The final last year, of course, they also played 5 years ago, as I said, as totally different players. First round at Roland Garros. Pegula's first serve, blocked back by Sabalenka. Pegula with a deep forehand, and Sabalenka can't pick it up. It's into the net. It's 15-love. Can Pegula's serve consistently tonight give Sabalenka problems? Can she match Sabalenka on serve? A big question that we'll find out throughout the night. First serve misses here from Pegula, a late bloomer, 31 years of age, ranked number 4 in the world. Second serve kicks wide but long, and it's a double fault from the American. She had not made a quarterfinal at a slam this year prior to getting here in New York. Pegula serves, backhand return, Sabalenka goes deep, too deep. And it's 30-15. In fact, the slams have been extremely frustrating for Pegula all year. 3rd round loss in Melbourne, 4th round at Roland Garros, and as we mentioned, stunning first round defeat to Cacciaretto in the first round at Wimbledon. Pegula serves into the net. She's going to be under constant pressure tonight from Sabalenka. Pegula serves, kicks the second one in. Backhand return, Sabalenka. Knifed back by Pegula. Sliced up the line. Sabalenka picked up Pegula. Cross court off the let cord goes Sabalenka, and it trickles over on Pegula's side. Throwing up the hand in fake apology is Sabalenka. It's 30-all. Elena Ostapenko would approve of the apology. 30-all here, and Sabalenka is in this first Pegula service game. The far end, Pegula serves out wide. Sabalenka makes a forehand return. Cross-court forehand, really good Pegula. Opens it up. Sabalenka defends it back. Volley, not great from Pegula there. Sabalenka gets it back, but the overhead is much better from Pegula. Into the deuce court corner for a winner. It's 40-30. came to the net with a lot of court to work with and went very soft, very cautious with the volley. Sabalenka was able to get to it and put up a lob. Pegula taking care of the overhead on the second time of asking. She has a game point at 40-30. Toss up, serve down, up the tee. Sabalenka swats at the return into the bottom of the net. Pegula holds. And we're at 1-1. What an amazing night this is for tennis, for women's tennis, for the United States Open. This Thursday women's semifinal card is as good as it gets, perhaps. No, there's no Iga Swiatek here. There are, of course, big names missing, as there always tends to be when you get down to a Final Four. But the star power of Aryna Sabalenka, Jessica Pegula, Naomi Osaka, and Amanda Anisimova, what more could they have asked for? Sabalenka serves into the net as they were just waiting on a couple of folks to find their seats. It hasn't completely filled out yet here at the Arthur Ashe Stadium, the world's largest tennis court. Sabalenka serves here to the forehand of Pegula. Sharp return, but it's long. We'll get to the comments here after this game. That's normally how I intend on trying to do it, is after the first three games. Try to get to the comments, but keep them coming. Glad to have everyone with us on this Thursday night, Thursday evening, afternoon, or maybe even Friday morning, depending on where you are. Sabalenka serves. Pegula makes the return. Into a rally we go. Sabalenka with a forehand into the deuce court. Sharp-angled cross-court forehand from Pegula is really good, and it's 15-all. Plenty of stars in the seats as well, as you may imagine, as there always is here at the Open. Al Roker spotted by the cameras there, the longtime star weather man at NBC. Is Sabalenka, great serve out wide. Pegula swats the return back. Deep forehand Sabalenka, looped on back by Pegula. Short forehand up the middle from Sabalenka. Slice back by Pegula. Off forehand Sabalenka, deep into the ad court corner this time. Pegula's lob this time does not find space in the court. It's 30-15. Sabalenka's ball striking, as we know, the hardest on the tour. The most ferocious. That's going to put Pegula under a lot of pressure throughout the night. Snaps the net on the first serve here at 103 from Sabalenka, the reigning champion. Here she goes with the second serve. Per usual, high ball toss. Gets it down to the backhand of Pegula. Deep return, and Sabalenka's unable to pick it up. Forehand stashed into the net, 30-all. 27-year-old Aryna Sabalenka making another deep run at a slam. Nothing new for her these days. Can she finish it? She's, of course, won twice at Melbourne in this title last year. Had a great chance at the Roland Garros final this year, didn't finish it. Ace up the tee from Sabalenka at 114 miles per hour. Gets her to 40-30. If she were to win tonight, it would be her 7th slam final appearance. She's made the final in 6 of the last 10 slams she's played. 40-30. Serve out wide misses. She leads the tour in match victories this year to Sabalenka with 54. And she will leave here with the number 1 ranking. That confirmed a couple of nights ago. 40-30 serve Sabalenka. Towering ball toss. Puts it down to the backhand of Pegula. Down low to the ground, Sabalenka to hit the backhand. They're ripping it right here. Now slicing it up the middle, Sabalenka. Picked up by Pegula deep. Backhand up the middle, Sabalenka. Cross-court Pegula. Into the ad-court corner, Sabalenka. Changing direction up the line, Pegula. And Sabalenka answers with a cracking forehand winner cross-court. She holds for 2-1. Hopefully we'll see those kind of rallies and that kind of shot-making throughout the night. We're underway in this women's semifinal and on serve through 3. Getting the comments up here. Morning, says Jake. Says won't be talking much, but listening in. Great to have you with us as always. Let's see. Yes, roof is closed as there are showers intermittent moving in through the area and a lot of the East Coast, in fact, dealing with rain of some kind. Southeast dealing with much heavier rain here earlier this evening, but the roof is closed for the first semifinal. Would imagine it would be as well for the second between Anisimova and Osaka, which we may talk about a little bit later. As I said, this Final Four card, spectacular. The four players that we have here. I cannot say enough about Amanda Anisimova, the way she found a way to conjure up the courage and the strength to beat Iga Swiatek yesterday evening after we all know what happened the last time those two played. And Anisimova gets Osaka here tonight, which is a great story on both sides. I'm not calling that match here on the channel or any channel for that matter, so allow me to say, because I'm not calling the match and I don't have to be objective about it, my heart is with Anisimova tonight. And it's going to be a tough challenge against an in-form Osaka, but boy, that was inspiring what she did yesterday. Back to play here. Pegula serving, misses out wide on her first. Here comes her second, and she misses that one too, trying to just loft it in, misses it long at 84. It's a double fault. It's love 15. Here's Pegula serving to the body of Sabalenka, who just had to fight it off. It loops back to Pegula. Cross-court a forehand. Squash shot pulled out by Sabalenka. Ends up in the bottom of the net, and she twirls her body around in frustration after hitting a very awkward shot there. It's 15 all. Pegula seated fourth here, goes up the tee and pounds out an ace. So a double fault and an ace in this game from Pegula, that at 105. It's 30-15. John says, does confirm we do have comms for both semis. That's great to hear. And yeah, the Wimbledon loss by Pegula, an absolute shocker. Serve out wide. Sabalenka shovels the return back. Cross-court the backhand deep from Pegula. Defended back by Sabalenka. Pegula, a drop shot. Not a great one. Sabalenka gets to it. Doesn't do a lot with it. Cross-court the backhand. Pegula at the net. A volley from Sabalenka. Good. Up with a lob. Pegula over the top of Sabalenka. But it drops just long of the baseline. A cat and mouse kind of point there. And it's 30 all after Pegula just poked that lob long. Cheeky little lob right over the top of Sabalenka at the net. 30 all. Pegula serves to the back end of Sabalenka. Awkward looking return and pops it long. It's 40-30. Sabalenka has gotten to 30 all in both of the first two Pegula service games. Yeah, just to finish off that comment from John about that Wimbledon loss from Pegula. She misses the first serve here up the tee. John went on to say thought she might make the final in London. As Pegula serves, backhand return, thumped by Sabalenka. Up the middle, Pegula. Off forehand, Sabalenka. Cross-court the backhand, Pegula. Sliced up the middle by Sabalenka. Short ball from Pegula. Sliced up the line. It carries on Sabalenka. Up the line, Pegula, and Sabalenka slides into a backhand, which she golfs into the net, and Pegula has held for 2 games all. I have to say, Pegula has the game. We know she does. She has the talent, but I've really struggled and started to lose confidence in her with all of these early losses and just shaky performances. It's good to see her in form here out of really nowhere. Sabalenka, oh my goodness, a fireable first serve that Pegula somehow returns back, but the second forehand from Pegula is long. That is an incredible serve there from Sabalenka. Smoke trailing off the ball there. Of course, she's been working with Gavin McMillan on the serve to keep it a huge weapon to try to bring those double faults down. Sabalenka at the far end at 15 love. She's not really been tested in a service game to this point. Goes up the tee, and Pegula's return bounces before it even gets to the net, and it's 30 love. Sport and Politics here. Hi to you. Glad to have you with us. Says, voted Sabalenka. Random question, what's your beverage of choice? That could be a loaded question at times. Here's Sabalenka at 30 love. Big serve out wide. Pegula spatulas it back. Cross court the backhand on the serve +1. Sabalenka with the winner. And it's 40 love. So right now, I have water with me here. Water most of the time during broadcast. Not all the time, but most of the time, water during broadcast. Served by Sabalenka. Popped back by Pegula, and a backpedaling forehand smacked up the line by Sabalenka, a winner. It's 3-2, holds to love. But if you're asking me my favorite beverage is probably out of a can, not a 2-liter, not a bottle, but out of a can. I'm a huge Coca-Cola guy. So much better than Pepsi. And boy, it hits when you need it to hit right out of that can. Do like, of course, when you're in the southeast of the United States, and I don't know how many people here are familiar with the southeast of the U.S., sweet tea is a big deal down here, where they put just pounds and pounds of sugar in the tea. I love me a good Arnold Palmer with the sweet tea and lemonade mixed up. Let's see. John says, which player might be affected most by the nerves? Both seem okay. Yes. I haven't really sensed nerves from either. Obviously, we're very early, 5 games in, but both look ready for the moment, at least for now. Yeah, what a response from Amanda that was. I just watching in awe yesterday as Anisimova found you lose love and love in a Wimbledon final of all things when you know the whole world is watching. And you had to come back and play that same player so quickly after. And it took all the courage in the world just to get on that court. And then to go out and win it in straight sets. That was, yeah. My heart is with her tonight. My head says Osaka. But my heart hopes for Anisimova tonight. Here's Pegula serving to the back end of Sabalenka. Backhand up the middle, Pegula. Cross court the forehand. Sabalenka really good. Pegula picks it up, goes wide with it, however, on the cross court forehand. Ludacris is here in the seats. As we always know, a lot of stars are here. Robin Roberts, the anchor of Good Morning America, longtime Sports Center anchor at ESPN, is here. As Pegula can't find the first serve. Sabalenka has been in these return games. She's, in fact, got it to 30 all in both. Pegula serves here. Sabalenka cracks a deep backhand return. Pegula defends it back. Drop shot, Sabalenka, really good. Pegula, can she get to it? She does. But Sabalenka's there with a lovely little volley winner cross court, and it's love 30 right here. So Sabalenka very much in this return game as well. It's a really good drop shot. Pegula did well just to speed to it, and Sabalenka well positioned and anticipating where it was heading as she was able to find the volley winner. Pegula at the far end facing love 30. Goes deep on the first serve, too deep. Pegula with the white visor on top of the head. Here she goes. Second serve. It's there. Forehand smacked by Sabalenka. Short ball. Pegula won. Sabalenka had a lot of court to work with to get to love 40, but the backhand is into the net. Ghosty is here. How are you? How is life in the Carolinas, he asks. Hard rain earlier. It has moved away, thankfully, because I don't want it to be raining hard when I get on these broadcasts. Here's a big serve by Pegula. Backhand return, Sabalenka up the middle, Pegula. Big forehand, Sabalenka. Pegula's into the net. And Sabalenka, first break points of this semifinal will belong to her. 15-40 and a chance to claim the first lead of the night. So Pegula faces pressure here. Serves out wide. Sabalenka blocks it back. Backpedaling the backhand. Hit by Pegula. Looped back by Sabalenka and knifed long. And a break point saved. It's 30-40. Yeah, I don't like it when it's raining hard when I get on these broadcasts. One, because I'm afraid the Wi-Fi will go out or the power will go out. And two, because the dogs don't love it. Still a break point for Sabalenka. Pegula with the serve. Sabalenka the return. Backing up the middle from Pegula into a rally. Cross-court Pegula. Up the line the backhand Sabalenka. Pegula answers with a sharp angled forehand and Sabalenka's into the net. And we're at deuce. A couple of break points saved by Pegula. If there were some nerves being felt by Pegula, one, she's hid them well, and two, maybe she settled them by saving those 2 break points. Serves here. Backhand return from Sabalenka sails long. And now 3 points in a row from Pegula. John says both men's semis tomorrow will be on the channel. And yeah, I am here for the women's finals Saturday. I cannot wait for that. I have not been on for a slam final on this channel. Excited for it. Pegula serves out wide. Sabalenka swats the return. Backpedaling forward up the middle. Pegula steered back by Sabalenka into the deuce court corner. Pegula on the sprint. Unable to throw up a lob that drops in play. And we're back at deuce. Was on for a set of the Wimbledon final between Sinner and Alcaraz this summer. But have not been on for a full slam final. Excited for it. Henrik Lundqvist is in the crowd tonight, the great New York Rangers goaltender from the past. Serve out wide Pegula. Sabalenka return. Pegula flexes that forehand long, and another break point coming from Sabalenka. There was such great force behind the Sabalenka return. And a third Sabalenka break point here. See if she can capitalize this time. Pegula serves to the forehand of Sabalenka. Great return up the line. Pegula's on the defensive, gets it back. Sabalenka steps into the middle of the court and rips a forehand winner into the ad court, inside out, and Aryna Sabalenka has the lead in this U.S. Open semifinal. She claims the first break. She goes ahead by 4-2. So Sabalenka's off and running. And you'd have to say she's been the better player through the first 6 games. Maybe not a wide margin, but she has been the better player to start this match. And now she has the break and the lead that she likely deserves. It's 4-2. Again, she has to pause on the service motion as more fans find their seats from the concession stands. 1, 2, 3, 6 of them finding their seats just in that one section. My goodness, Sabalenka serves up the tee and pounds out an ace. She's hitting it cleanly. She's hitting it well. $15 here. Sabalenka inside of 25 minutes with the break, with the lead. Serve here is into the net. Damian will be doing the first men's semi. That's, of course, Djokovic and Alcaraz not getting the prime time semifinal. I'm sure ESPN doesn't love that. Prime time in Europe, of course, that. As Sabalenka serves. Forehand reply, Pegula deep. Sabalenka stashes the backhand long. And it is prime time in Europe for Djokovic and Alcaraz tomorrow, but it's not prime time in the States. And like I said, I'm sure ESPN doesn't totally love that. They'll get Jannik Sinner in prime time against the surprising part of the men's Final Four puzzle piece, Felix Auger-Aliassime. Canadian has gone on best run of his career, at least in a slam. Sabalenka serves. Backhand return swatted back. Pegula. Sabalenka. Flat forehand there is into the net. It's 15-30. See if Pegula can come up with a response here. Karl Anthony Towns, also in the seats, has the phone out, recording the action. Sabalenka at 15-30, serves out wide. Pegula, cross-court backhand on the return, and into the net goes Sabalenka, tried to lift that backhand up the line. She's forked it into the net. And after dropping serve, Pegula with break-back points, 15-40. Be a huge confidence boost here for Jess. She was able to get the break back so quickly. Here goes Sabalenka, serving out wide. Pegula's return right at the feet of Sabalenka. The only problem for Pegula is that Sabalenka's feet were beyond the baseline. It's 30-40. It's a really good return. A good time to take a risk on that one and fire it right at the shoelaces of Sabalenka. Just missed it long. Still break point. Here's Sabalenka. Up with the toss, down with the serve. It misses long. Speed flashes up at 108. Second serve here that Pegula has a chance to attack if she chooses. Doesn't have to. Second serve misses, and Sabalenka gifts the break right back to Pegula, and we're back on serve. Pegula will change ends and serve at 3-4. As Sabalenka gives it right back to her. Jake says, gotta respect Jess's career path from a mediocre career of nothing to being top 5 in the latter part of her career. Kind of bizarre, but deserves credit. Yeah, you're right about that. But as we know, and especially with this sport, now, of course, there's been many players, men and women, that have contradicted this over the past handful of years. But as we know, at age 31, you have to say time to get that maiden slam is starting to run short. Great chance for her to do it here if she can beat Sabalenka tonight and be a back-to-back U.S. Open finalist. Ghosty says, I voted Sabalenka too, but the electorate in my city lacks vision, so they went with some other hack. Let's see. Cherry Coke. Yes. So I do like Cherry Coke. So here's the dirty little secret on this. And this is going to sound extremely bougie and high class, I know, but I don't care. You go to a restaurant that has a bar. If you like a Cherry Coke taste, of course, they put out Cherry Coke, and it tastes fairly artificial, cherry flavoring. Go out to a place that has a bar, you order Coke with grenadine. Get that cherry syrup in the Coke. That, oh my Lord. That's when I've had a really stressful day. I don't drink alcohol. So when I've had a really stressful day, that's what I need, is the Coke with grenadine. Pegula back on serve, and a big serve up the tee there that Sabalenka is unable to get back. It's 15-love. Yeah, Pepsi just doesn't hold a candle to Coke. No, you're right, Ghosty. 15-love. Pegula serves here out wide. Sabalenka cracks a backhand return. Up the middle goes Pegula. Picked up by Sabalenka in the deuce court corner. Lofted back by Pegula. Deep on the backhand, Sabalenka. Long rally here off the let court goes Sabalenka. Slice backhand Pegula. Cross court the backhand there from Sabalenka. Pegula defends it back. Sabalenka up with a volley. Pegula with a passing shot winner with a cross court forehand. And Sabalenka turns back and looks to her box. She didn't do enough with that kind of overhead volley. And Pegula got to it. Not really an overhead. She hit it at the side of her head and didn't do enough with it. Pegula stayed in the fight. Passing shot winner. 30-love. Serve up the tee. Pegula is an ace. And now at 40-love is Jess. Riding a wave of momentum here. Fell behind the break at 4-2. Got the break immediately back. Now on the cusp of a love hold to get to 4-all. Up the tee she goes. Sabalenka's return. Can't find any space and does not get over the net. It is a love hold for Pegula. Her first of this match. It's 4-all. John says, I do have a preferred beverage, and it can come in cans and bottles or from a pump. Very good. On tee tonight. Ghosty says, fun fact, a John Daly is just an Arnold Palmer with vodka. I don't know if you're making that up or not, but it sounds very real. Here's Sabalenka serving out wide. Pegula sharp return, and Sabalenka steps into a forehand, which is into the net, and the American crowd now can certainly sense the momentum shift that Pegula has been able to steer her direction, and they're completely behind the New Yorker. She is from Buffalo, New York. That is not near the city, of course. That's Western New York. Serve here to the backhand of Pegula, which she fights off. Sabalenka cross-court the forehand. Pegula, big flat forehand there. Now goes up the line. Sabalenka defends it back. Sliced up the middle, Pegula. Backhand, Sabalenka's up the line, and it's a winner. And she lets out a scream after striking that winner, Sabalenka. She can sense the momentum shift as well. She's trying to drag it back her direction. Ashley is here. Hello. Glad to have you with us as always. Says she's so proud of Amanda. Played so well. Sabalenka at the far end. 15 all. Goes deep on the first serve. Pegula defends it back. She's backpedaling Pegula. Sabalenka's at the net. Oh, great shot, Pegula! And Sabalenka, it just flew up on her so quickly she could not control it. And it's 15-30. Wow, Pegula finding her range here. Some really good ground stroke strikes. 15-30 now. At 4-all, first set. Sabalenka serves up the tee, and that's a tremendous serve. At 110, that Pegula's unable to get back off the frame of the racket. It landed maybe 2 yards to her right. 30-all. 4-all, 30-all. First set is on a knife's edge in this semifinal. Through 31 minutes. Sabalenka serves to the forehand of Pegula. It's a let on the serve. Sabalenka gifting advantages in slam matches feels like a theme this year, John says. You're not kidding about that. She has played so well overall this year, Sabalenka, but she has not played well in the slam finals that she's been in. Big serve out wide. Pegula blocks it back. Forehand up the line. Sabalenka comes to the net. Big backhand Pegula. Sabalenka gets it back. Pegula comes in and slaps it past. Another passing shot winner from Pegula. She's got another break point. Well, she's come flying back after dropping serve to win a couple of games in a row. Now she has a chance to grab the lead. Sabalenka at the far end, trying to problem solve on the fly here. Here she goes, serves out wide, misses. Second serve, remember last time she faced a breakpoint Sabalenka, she double faulted. Second serve here is good out wide. Pegula makes the return. Forehand up the middle. Oh, it's long from Sabalenka, and she swipes at the ball with her left hand in frustration. Pegula has the break again. She has the lead. And at 5-4, she'll serve for the first set. Who saw this coming after the way this started? She'll serve for the first set here, will the American. Tremendous fight back here from Pegula. And just talking about Sabalenka and how well she's played throughout the entire season. I mentioned earlier 54 match wins on the season. That leads the WTA Tour. But you would have to say that in the Grand Slam finals that she's played, she's played very sloppy matches in Melbourne against Keys. Certainly in Paris against Coco after she won that tremendous first set. Played an incredibly sloppy last two. And then that Wimbledon semifinal as well. Anna Samova held her nerve, but Sabalenka gave her a lot of gifts in that semifinal. And now she's been wrapping some presents and giving gifts into the arms of Jessica Pegula here in this first set. And Pegula with a chance to completely turn this around as she'll serve for the first set. Wow. Can Pegula withstand the pressure here at 5-4, serving for the opener? Misses the first serve here long. Sport and Politics says, did not see this coming. Serves to the backhand of Sabalenka, rips the return wide. Inside out on the backhand, great angle, but just missed the line in the deuce court. 15-love. Pegula really flying along here. She went down a break and she's looked almost flawless since. Serves out wide. Sabalenka's return shoveled back. Drop shot Pegula. Can Sabalenka get to it? She does, but she pokes it into the net. It's 30-love. S&P saying I went for Aryna in 3 sets, so I guess we're still on course for that. Yes, perhaps we are. Here's Pegula at the far end. She's 2 points away from putting this set to bed. She hasn't won a set against Sabalenka in a long time. Serve out wide. Sabalenka the return. Forehand up the middle by Pegula. Defended back Sabalenka, high looping ball. Pegula makes no mistake with it. Forehand winner into the deuce court. It's 40-love. Set points. Sabalenka has won the last 6 sets that these two have contested. But Pegula's won 15 of the last 18 points. And now on set point, serve up the tee. Sabalenka with the return. Cross court the forehand, Pegula. Sabalenka up the line. It drifts wide. And Jessica Pegula has come from behind to take the first set of this semifinal. She turns it around with 4 games on the trot. Dropped her serve, went down 4-2. Did not lose a game from that point on. Back-to-back breaks, a love hold to finish. She ended up winning 16 of the last 19 points of the set, and she wins the set from Sabalenka 6-4. And Jessica Pegula is a set away from being a back-to-back finalist at the U.S. Open. Short break. We'll be back.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks, including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Tremendous first set here in this U.S. Open semifinal, and a great turnaround from Jessica Pegula, who was maybe not decidedly, but she was the second best player on this court through the first 6 games. Sabalenka finally got the break to take the lead at 4-2, and from that point on, whether it was Sabalenka resting on her laurels or whether it was Pegula flipping a switch, Jessica Pegula won 16 of the last 19 points and won 4 games in a row to take the set 6-4. And what a turnaround. What a turnaround it turned out to be in this opening set. And Jessica Pegula is in the driver's seat in this first semifinal. Again, one more semifinal to come later tonight. What a matchup between two great ball strikers, Amanda Anisimova and Naomi Osaka. Be here on the channel. Stay tuned for the coverage of it. The winners, of course, will contest Saturday's final here at Arthur Ashe Stadium in Flushing Meadows, New York. Roof is closed tonight for the first semi. We anticipate it to be that way for the second one as well because of showers moving in. By the way, this match right here, Sabalenka and Pegula, if you are an American tennis fan and has followed tennis here stateside for however long, you know the name and the voice of Cliff Drysdale, former player himself, part of a very large group of very handsome tennis players in his day from South Africa. He's been a great voice of this sport on American television. This match is his last match on ESPN. He is retiring after this match. Love Cliffy. Here's Sabalenka serving. Backhand return to start the set from Pegula. Up the line, Sabalenka. Sharply hit up the middle from Pegula. Backhand Sabalenka. Cross-court Pegula opens it up. Sabalenka defends it back. Pegula's at the net. Ooh, tough little slice cross-court right back at Sabalenka, and it floats long on her. 15-love. As long as I've been a tennis fan, Cliff Drysdale has been a huge part of guiding tennis fans here in America through some of the biggest matches, and wish him all the best in retirement, but very sad to see him go. This is his final match right here, this semifinal. Here's Sabalenka at 15-love. Serve out wide. Pegula shovels the return back. Backing up the line, Sabalenka well struck. Defended back. Cross-court by Pegula. Drop shot Sabalenka. It's there. Pegula can't get to it. It's 30-love. Sabalenka positive start to the set. ESPN had a great feature on Cliffy yesterday as Sabalenka serves. Pegula with the return. Drop shot from Sabalenka here. Pegula this time does get to it, and Sabalenka tries to throw up a lob, but it's woefully wide, and it's 30-15. He is one of the ESPN originals, Cliff Drysdale is. When ESPN started in 1979, he was there. He is an ESPN original, one of only, I think, 3 or 4 that remain with the network, that started when the network began. Tonight, his big send-off, and what a match he is getting for the send-off. Sabalenka misses the serve here. Second serve, it's there. Pegula smacks the forehand return. Cross-court the backhand, Sabalenka. Big backhand from Pegula. Cross-court misses wide. And it's 40-15. Sabalenka game points to start this set. Serves out wide. That one slides wide. Comes the second now. Pops that in. Big forehand by Pegula on the return. Sabalenka picks it up and puts it into the net. It's 40-30. 84 years old, Cliff Drysdale. Will turn 85 next summer. Was a finalist here at the U.S. Open in 1965 at Forest Hills. Sabalenka up the tee, blocked back by Pegula, backpedaling forehand into the deuce court corner, Sabalenka, defended back Pegula, cross-court again, Sabalenka, Pegula forces that forehand long, and Sabalenka holds to start the second set, and was a doubles champion here at the U.S. Open in 72, was Cliffy, who at that 65 U.S. Open final, lost in 4 sets on the grass surface to Manuel Santana. Paired with Roger Taylor to win that doubles title in 72. To beat Owen Davidson and John Newcomb in the final. He was a really good tennis player, and he has been a great announcer and ambassador for the sport here in America for so many years. Pegula serves. Sabalenka steers the return back. Pegula's forehand misses long, however. Love 15. Ghosty says if Pegula makes the final, it's officially one of the worst U.S. Opens ever. Pegula serves up the tee. Sabalenka squares the return into the net, and it's 15-all. That first game did feel like a must-win game for Sabalenka. 15-all. Sabalenka twirls the racket in her hands at the far end. Pegula serves here. Backhand return is stashed into the net from Sabalenka. 30-15. I did forget that Ghosty is not the would not be found in a Pegula fan club meeting. I did forget about that, but it is. I am remembering now. Sabalenka, powerful backhand return, cross-court Pegula, up the middle. A backpedaling forehand hit there by Pegula, and did she miss it long? She did. It's just missed the baseline from Pegula. It's 30-all. Serves here. And a let on the first serve there from Jess. So we're just past 8 o'clock Eastern time, local time in New York. Pegula serves up the tee. It misses. Second serve now. Pegula kicks it in. Big backhand return. Sabalenka up the middle. Pegula. Sabalenka off balance backhand. Cross court Pegula. Sabalenka goes cross court. It's lofted back by Pegula. Sabalenka steps up and rips a forehand winner. She'll have a break point. Sabalenka in Pegula's opening service game of the set. A chance to snag a quick lead to start this second stanza for Aryna Sabalenka. She's done well between the sets to calm herself, even if she was fired up, which she was. She looked a bit frustrated. Here's Pegula. Serve to the backhand of Sabalenka makes the return. Forehand up the middle, Pegula. Cross-court Sabalenka. Pegula sprints to defend it back. And Sabalenka steps into an off-forehand winner, and there is the break. So just as she did in the first set, Sabalenka claims the first break of the second. And she's 2-love up in set 2. Ghosty says I'd be happy with an Anisimova championship, though. I think a lot of people would agree with you on that. So Sabalenka, quickly, out in front here in this second set. Serves into the net here. Are we heading towards a 3-set thriller? But after she fell behind in the first set, Pegula roared back. Can she do the same here? Serve out wide Sabalenka. Pegula makes the return. Cross-court the backhand Sabalenka. Short ball back in defense from Pegula, and Sabalenka with a drop shot winner. She comes to the net and with great touch drops that down for 15-love. Sabalenka at the far end. In the black kit, goes up the tee. Pegula the return. Squash shot from Sabalenka. It's short. Cross-court backhand Pegula. Sabalenka wanted to throw her entire body weight and more into her backhand, but she puts it into the net, and it's 15-all. One versus 4 here in this semifinal. Serves to the backhand of Pegula. Big forehand and from Sabalenka. It's deep. Pegula defends it back. Again, Sabalenka deep forehand. And that is a winner for 30-15. It's 8-23 in the second semifinal between Anisimova and Osaka. Of course, those are the two that played yesterday. Osaka and Anisimova. Sabalenka and Pegula played What day is this? Today's Thursday, sorry. So they played on Tuesday. Pegula beating Krejcikova, which that's not totally true. Sabalenka did not play on Tuesday. Vondrousova withdrew. Sabalenka serve out wide. Pegula sweeps at the return. Sabalenka with a beautiful backhand winner going back door with it. And it's 40-15. Last time Sabalenka played prior to tonight would have been Sunday when she won her fourth rounder. Sabalenka at 40-15, looking to consolidate the break, what she did not do in that first set. Get herself a good cushion here to start this second set. Serves to the backhand of Pegula. Backpedaling forehand Sabalenka. Pegula lifts it back. Up the middle Sabalenka. Slice back Pegula. Sabalenka cross court the backhand. Pegula's there cross court. Sabalenka stashes it back. And into the net goes Pegula. So Sabalenka does consolidate the break. Goes 3-love in front of Pegula in this second set. Of course, tomorrow, if you haven't already heard somehow, the men's semifinals start at 3 with Alcaraz and Djokovic, followed by Sinner and Auger-Aliassime. Before that, by the way, on the Arthur Ashe Stadium is the women's doubles final, which includes top-seeded Taylor Townsend and her partner Katerina Siniakova taking on Gabriela Dabrowski of Canada and Erin Routliffe of New Zealand in that doubles final. That is at noon Eastern Time. So let's see how Pegula, what she'll do in response to this. This is obviously, has it been a flat start to the set from her? She would probably say yes. With that being said, Sabalenka has come out looking extremely sharp herself to start this set. Not sure if you can say that it's totally been a Pegula drop-off that's led to this 3-love start. But Pegula has to hold here if she wants to stay in this set, as we know. If not, she might as well just get ready for the third. Serves out wide. Sabalenka sharp return. Up the middle and short from Pegula. Big forehand Sabalenka. Backpedaling forehand Pegula. Cross court into the deuce court Sabalenka. Pegula defends it back. There's the backhand Sabalenka. Staked back by Pegula. Here's a slicer from Sabalenka. Pegula comes up. Sabalenka defends it back. And an awkward looking backhand up the line from Pegula there over the top of her head. Hits it down the line for a winner. It's 15-love. Good rally there. Pegula anticipating almost that drop shot from Sabalenka, but did really well with that swinging backhand overhead. Here she is, 15-love Pegula to the backhand of Sabalenka. Up the line, Pegula strikes a clean winner. 30-love. So the NFL season is about to get started here in a matter of moments, too. Between Dallas and Philadelphia. They're raising the Super Bowl banner there for the Eagles as Pegula serves, flashes that one up the tee but misses. Pegula's second serve slides in. Big backhand return Sabalenka. Defended back by Pegula. Throwing her body into a cross-court backhand. Sabalenka drop shot. Pegula terrific. Sabalenka gets it back though. Oh, it's tremendous from Sabalenka, who sprints to that ball and gets the drop shot back. It's a winner for 30-15. Sabalenka clicking on all cylinders to start this set. Pegula serves. It moves up the tee. Sabalenka the return. Backpedaling forehand Pegula into a rally. Big backhand by Sabalenka. She knows no other way than to go big. And Pegula's into the net with the backhand up the line. It's 30-all. Pegula's made 4 unforced errors. So what the stat that gets shown up here in this set. Sabalenka's yet to make one. Here's Pegula on the serve. Sabalenka with the return floats long. 40-30. Pegula with a chance to get on the board here. Pegula at the far end. Toss up, serve down. It's in the net. Second serve here, Pegula. It's a let. So we close in on the hour mark. Night has fallen over the top of New York. Second serve, Sabalenka steps into it, and the return on the forehand flashed long. The entirety of both of her feet were inside the baseline for that return. She was going to go for it, and she did. Pegula holds, gets on the board in this set. Ghosty does not get the bagel he wanted. And we're at 3-1. Again, roof closed tonight on a night where rain is going to move in and out throughout. As Sabalenka serves out wide. That's an ace. Always steering away from Pegula at 98 miles per hour. Now Ghosty wants a breadstick. All right. See if Sabalenka can deliver. Here she goes, serving out wide again. That's another ace. 2 of them in a row. $30 love for Sabalenka as she works towards 4-1 in this set. Towering ball toss. Serve is into the net. Second serve. Sabalenka, it's there, and the forehand return is not from Pegula. That's into the bottom of the net. 40 love. And Sabalenka in control as she has been in all of her service games so far to start this second set. Here she goes. Serves up the tee at 40 love. Misses. Missed it at 107. Here's the second. To the backhand of Pegula. Makes the return. Deep forehand Sabalenka. Sliced back. Now there's a drop shot from Sabalenka. Pegula's there. There's the volley. Sabalenka drifts wide. Bending at the knees as she watched that volley just slide wide. She'll go back and get a new racket after that one, will Sabalenka. Still has 40-15. Points for 4-1 here. She tries to muscle this match to a third set. At the near end. Toss up, serve down. Backhand return, Pegula short. Drop shot, Sabalenka. Pegula gets to it. Stashed it back. Volley is put away neatly and nicely from Sabalenka. She does hold for 4-1. So Sabalenka getting closer and closer to sending us to a decider. But again, she was up 4-2 in the first set before Pegula won 4 games in a row. We're at 4-1 here. Sean is with us. Hello to you. It says incredible speed on the play-by-play. Let's see. What else do... Well, Ghosty wants a breadstick. Yes. Sean says, hello, Ghosty. Great to have you in the live chat today, Sean. For our members-only live stream, Damien was on top form. And then Ghosty says, I gotta say, Pegula looking good in that kit. Well, I mean, at least you can admit that. This September Thursday, first Thursday of the month, NFL season kicking off here in a matter of moments, as I mentioned. They're raising the banner in Philadelphia as the Super Bowl champion Eagles get it kicked off with their great rivals from Dallas, the Cowboys. If you are a football fan, the Netflix docuseries about Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, I just finished it earlier today. That is one heck of a docuseries. My goodness, they did just a tremendous job making that 8-episode series. I would totally suggest it. As Pegula serves here to the backhand of Sabalenka, clip the let cord on the return. Into a rally we go. Pegula with a forehand into the deuce court. Slice back by Sabalenka. Pegula tried to hit a volley off the slice, puts it into the net. Yes, a Pegula compliment from Ghosty. Are you feeling okay? I was thinking the same thing there. Love 15. Pegula at the near end. Falls into a service motion. Misses it long. Second serve, Pegula. It's there to the backhand of Sabalenka. Wow! Oh my goodness. Rips the cords on that return, and it is a winner. Love 30. Tremendous backhand return. The ferocity from Sabalenka, her trademark. An hour and a minute in, Pegula serves out wide. Sabalenka slaps the return. Up the middle, Pegula. Sabalenka twirls a backhand up the middle. Backhand Pegula. Sabalenka's there. Now a looping forehand up the line from Sabalenka is met by a backhand, which Pegula strikes up the line for a winner. 15-30. Ghosty asks if I'm a Panthers fan. Interestingly enough, I cannot say I'm a fan of any NFL team, as Pegula's serve is into the net, and that serves me well, doing as many game commentaries as I do to not be a fan. As Pegula serves, Sabalenka's return is thumped into the net, and we're at 30 all, so it does serve me well to not be a fan. Now, I will say, and this is going to be I'm going to be in the minority, the very high minority on this, I know. As Pegula serves at 30 all, misses the first. I was a huge Tom Brady fan. Everybody hated him. Everybody hated the Patriots. I loved the intensity. I loved the professionalism. As Pegula serves, Sabalenka whacks the return, and into the net goes Pegula. Sabalenka will have a break point to go up a double break in 5-1 here. But see, that's the kind of player, the intensity. I love a player like that. A lot. I'm going to bring her up again. A lot like Maria. Straightforward, only cared about winning. Yeah. Pegula out wide on the serve, facing a break point. Twirled back by Sabalenka. Pegula steps inside the service area and puts away a forehand winner to get to deuce. So yeah, I was a Brady fan. I would never say that I was a Patriot or Buccaneer fan, because that would be disrespectful to diehard Patriot or Buccaneer fans, but I was definitely rooting for those teams. As Pegula serves up the tee, it misses. No, not the Pink Panthers, no. Pegula serves, backhand return up the line, Sabalenka, that's really good. Hooked back by Pegula. Up the line, Sabalenka. Wow, Pegula! Out of nothing, forehand winner cross court. Advantage Pegula. Jerry, to answer your question, Ghosty, Jerry is, yeah, he has his flaws. No doubt. Advantage Pegula, game point. Into the net she goes on the first serve. Second serve is there. Sabalenka chops at the return and puts it into the net. So, well, she had a break point there to go up the double break in 5-1. She didn't put it away. She ends up dropping the game. Pegula fights it out and holds for 4-2. Let's see if that turns into a turning point in this set. You just never know in this game when things will flip. And maybe Pegula there, staying away from falling 5-1 down. Maybe that turns it around in the set. We'll see. Sabalenka, though, still in control of the set as she serves at 4-2. Here she goes, out wide on the serve. Pegula blocks it back. Oh, my goodness. Sabalenka fires away on the forehand and hits a winner. As Cavante Turpin spins the opening kickoff of the NFL season up the near sideline. And out of bounds at the 27-yard line goes Turpin, who's very speedy. Sabalenka at 15-love. Up the tee on the serve. Pegula lifts that return back and it's long. 30-love. Yeah, has plenty of flaws. Jerry does, no doubt. $30-love here for Sabalenka. Serves out wide. Pegula cannot make the return. It's 40-love. Sabalenka is heading towards forcing a third set, it would seem here, as she goes out wide and misses this serve. And I'll tell you why that's important here in just a moment, just historically speaking. Second serve is long. It's a double fault. Reason that is important, just historically speaking, Sabalenka has gone 104 consecutive matches without losing in straight sets. That's quite the streak as she pounds an ace out wide here to get to 5-2. She's on the precipice of sending us to a third set here tonight. Is Sabalenka a game away from wrapping this second set up? So 5-2. And if Jessica Pegula is going to get a little bit of revenge from losing to Sabalenka in the final last year and make it back to the U.S. Open final, looks like she'll have to do it in 3 sets, it would seem. Let's see. The feed here got a little choppy all of a sudden. My apologies. Try to clear that out. This is what we love going to streaming on everything, but I still say that I'm good with just basic cable. I don't need the streaming part. But anyway. Yes, great stat, says John. Yes, so it's 104 consecutive matches in majors without a straight set loss. That's the second longest streak in the Open era behind Martina Navratilova, who went 143 straight major matches without dropping a straight set loss. Here we go. Our stream is back. Apologies for that. Pegula is serving at 2-5. And has 15-love. Serves to the back end of Sabalenka. It's a return winner from Aryna. It's 15-all. Ashley says thanks for the call. Well, thank you as always. Much appreciated. As Pegula serves and misses the first serve at 15-all. Second serve, Pegula misses that one as well. Goes long with it. It is 5-2, but it is still just the one break between these two. So just trying to continue holding. Pegula put the pressure on Sabalenka to keep serving it out. 15-30, Pegula puts this into the forehand of Sabalenka, and that deep return misses long, and it's 30-all. Pegula at the far end. That serve out wide misses. Second serve now. Jess puts that in, and the Sabalenka backhand return is into the net. It's 40-30 here. Pegula wanting to force Sabalenka to serve it out. Pegula serves up the tee. Sabalenka with the return up the middle. Backhand by Pegula. Slice back Sabalenka. Cross court the forehand. Pegula. Forehand into the deuce court corner. Sabalenka on the run to get to that ball up the line. She does. Twirls it back on a lob. Pegula's there. Cross court. Sabalenka defends it back. Pegula comes up and hits the worst volley she's hit tonight. Misses it wide, and it's deuce. Yeah, that's probably the worst miss she's had so far in this match. Pegula there is Sabalenka defending tremendously there. Looking like Coco Gauff running all over the place. That's a poor volley. Deuce now. Pegula serves out wide. Misses again. Here comes the second. Oh, and that's into the net. That's a terrible time for a double fault. And now a set point for Aryna Sabalenka. Trying to get us to a third set. Pegula serves and misses up the tee. Second serve from Jess. Puts it in. Big forehand return Sabalenka. Forked back by Pegula. Into the net goes Sabalenka, and we're at deuce. As off-play action, Dak Prescott lofts a deep throw up the near sideline, and CeeDee Lamb makes the catch. And he's out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Dallas will have first and goal. Because I'm sure everyone here is wanting to be kept up to date with that. Pegula misses the first serve there. Here comes the second now. Pegula puts it in, and rifling the return long with the backhand is Sabalenka. Sabalenka just at times makes it difficult on herself. Pegula serves. It's in the net. Second serve now, Pegula. Puts a change up in, and Sabalenka's into the net on the backhand return. So Pegula holds to keep this second set forging forward. At 5-3, Sabalenka will serve for it. Ghosty says NFL has had games in the UK, a lot of them here lately, but I don't know how popular it is. They got a game in Dublin coming up this year with Minnesota and Pittsburgh. College football game in Dublin a couple of weeks ago with Iowa State and Kansas State. The Big 12 conference game in Dublin. Don't know how I feel about that. Sabalenka serves. Forehand return deep by Pegula. Picked up Sabalenka. Big forehand Pegula. Sabalenka gets it back. Pegula's at the net. Volley wasn't great. Sabalenka with a lob. Pegula calmly at the net. Just touches it over, and it's love 15. This is where Pegula has to come through if she wants to keep this from going to a third. Time is now. Yeah, Ghosty says Saba her worst enemy sometimes. Yeah, she really is. As in the near court, she's trying to serve out this set. She's got love 15. Serve is out wide. Pegula lifts a high lob return back, and Sabalenka steps into it and hits a forehand winner up the line. Yeah, Ghosty, at some point we're going to get... There's going to be a time where we're going to get 16 or 17 international games a season. You can just feel that coming. Sabalenka at 15 all, serves out wide, misses. Roger Goodell would love to have 16 international games a year for them to have so many international games, and he can sell it as its separate broadcast package, so get a bunch of money from somebody who wants to do those games, likely Netflix if I were guessing. Sabalenka now. 15 all, serves, forehand return was sharp from Pegula, big backhand Sabalenka, up the middle goes Pegula, backpedaling backhand hit there by Sabalenka, up the middle goes Pegula, off forehand Sabalenka, it's really good, Pegula up with a defensive lob, backpedaling, letting it drop at the base on Sabalenka, fires a forehand up the center, and into the net goes Pegula, who had neutralized the point and may have even been in control of the point. Finds the net there, however, and it's 30-15. Tomorrow, Kansas City and the Chargers are playing in Sao Paulo. Second year in a row that there's a Sao Paulo game. Sabalenka serves out wide, misses. Last year it was Packers and Eagles. Tomorrow it's Chiefs and Chargers. We'll see if Taylor Swift will be there. 30-15, Sabalenka serves to the backhand of Pegula, who punches that return long. And Sabalenka, who had a set point on return last game, now serving with 2 set points. Where's the other one this year? It's Miami and Washington in Madrid. Sabalenka serves up the tee, whisked back by Pegula, who hammers a backhand up the center. Cross-court Sabalenka, short ball by Pegula. Sabalenka dips it down. Pegula's there. Oh, and aims at the body of Sabalenka and does it well as Aryna can't get it back. And another set point is saved by Pegula. One more to go. Sabalenka with a third set point now. Sabalenka went right for Pegula went right for the body there with that backhand. Had the target to hit at. Third chance for Sabalenka now. High ball toss. Serve is in the net. Second serve here from Sabalenka. Serves out wide. Pegula's return clapped into the net, and we are going the distance in this U.S. Open semifinal. Inside the world's largest tennis stadium, Aryna Sabalenka, flexing her muscle as the world number 1, sends us to a deciding third set in this semifinal, and that third set's coming up in a moment.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
And if you're wondering what this little thing is, well, let me tell you now, whether it be tea, coffee, or merely water, it tastes so much better from a talking tennis mug. And you know what? They can be yours if you wish to purchase one from our website. We've also got bags and stickers and hoodies and notebooks. Mira Andreeva. T-shirts as well, of course, coming in both black and white. And we've got a classic jumper for you as well, and many, many other things for you to purchase for excellent prices so you can look like some of the coolest people on the tour. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Well, here we go. Third set, a decider in this first semifinal. Jessica Pegula serving to start this third set at love 15. Goes to the forehand of Sabalenka, rips the return, shoveled back by Pegula, backhand Sabalenka, flexed up the middle by Pegula, directed back by Sabalenka, the backhand misses. It's 15-all. Sabalenka with a 2-1 ratio in winners, 26-13. The unforced errors, Sabalenka has 16, Pegula has 12. That's plus 10 winners to unforced for Sabalenka, Pegula plus 1. Serve up the tee. Pegula makes it. Sabalenka the return. Now a big forehand Sabalenka. Cross-court Pegula. Sabalenka tries to go back door. Pegula's there to defend it. Up the line Sabalenka ranging over. Cross-court backhand. Sweeping at it was Pegula. Now comes to the net with an approach shot. Sabalenka tries to pass her, but she threads it long. 30-15. What kind of third set are we going to get? Is this going to be a tense one? Is it going to be Sabalenka carrying the play the way she did in that second set? Remember, Sabalenka's gotten off to the hot start in each of the first two sets. She claimed the first break of the first, got the only break, one of them, in the second. First serve misses here from Pegula, who came from behind and won 4 games in a row to win that first set. Second serve is there. Sabalenka, thunderous return with the backhand. Pegula picks it up. Backhand is long. And a slap of the thigh with the right hand there from Pegula. Frustration there as it's at 30-all. For the majority of the match, I have to say Sabalenka's been the better player. Pegula with a let on the first serve. There was just that one stretch of whatever that turned out to be, 15 minutes or so, that Pegula was playing high class, top shelf stuff. Serves here up the tee, misses. Second serve coming. We're at 1:23. And we're at 30-all in the opening game of the third set. Pegula serves. Sabalenka's return. Oh, a lightning bolt winner. The serve was 73 miles an hour from Pegula. She had to know that at that speed and in the strike zone of Sabalenka, she would not have a prayer of getting that back. 73 miles an hour on the serve, 78 miles an hour on the forehand winner from Sabalenka. She has a break point, does Aryna, in the opening game of the third. Pegula serves. Again, it's a soft one. Sabalenka, the backhand return. Pegula's forehand is thrusted long. Oh, and she spikes the ball into the ground in frustration for the third set in a row. Aryna Sabalenka claims an early break. And in this decisive set, Sabalenka is in front. Sabalenka to serve. To the forehand of Pegula. Backhand up the middle, Sabalenka. After the quickest change of ends you'll ever see, Pegula's forehand is wide. Love 15. I make that 15 love, beg your pardon. Sabalenka at the near end. Serving here and serving gas. Out wide on the line, an ace. It's 30 love. Sabalenka is still clicking on all cylinders. Goes out wide. Pegula the return it short. Sabalenka gobbles that up. Forehand winner up the line in the ad court. It's 40 love. Flying along here. Like a thoroughbred. We're in New York. We can't be too far away from Belmont. Sabalenka right now is moving like a tremendous machine. Serves here. Misses the first. Second serve here. Sabalenka up the tee. Pegula's return. High into the sky. It finally drops down, and as it does, Sabalenka smacks a cross-court winner, and that was a lightning-quick love hold for 2 love in a third set that the way we're trending, this may be over very quickly. Pegula's going to have to wrangle the momentum away from Aryna Sabalenka, take it by 2 hands, and rip it from her grasp. Pegula at the far end, love 2, final set, serves to the backhand of Sabalenka. Deep return, forehand up the line, Pegula, it was good. Sabalenka defends it back. Deep backhand there, Pegula. Sabalenka's there, and Pegula's there at the net to volley it away. 15 love. It's just the second time these two have ever gone to a third set. The only other time they did was in their first ever meeting 5 years ago in Cincinnati. Pegula slaps that first serve into the net. Second serve, Pegula puts it in. Steered back by Sabalenka. Cross court, really sharp there from Pegula, and Sabalenka's into the net. Maybe this is what Pegula needed. She fell behind in the first set, then played flawlessly for 4 games in a row, but she fell behind early in the first set and never got back to, in the second set, she fell behind early and never got back to that first set quality. She's at 30 love here. Big serve misses. Winner goes to Saturday's final to play Naomi Osaka or Amanda Anisimova. Pegula serves out wide. Sabalenka's return is a thumper. Up the line, Pegula forehand. Sabalenka's there. Backhand Pegula. Backhand rally here. Cross court Sabalenka. Up the middle Pegula. Again in the ad court Sabalenka. Cross court goes Pegula. Sliced on back Sabalenka. It misses. Goes long. 40 love. Ghosty says he's going 7-5 to Sabalenka. The way we're going right now, Sabalenka wants to be done with this very quickly. At the far end, Pegula 40 love. Service up the tee. Slides wide. Second serve from the American. Toss up, serve down. Backhand reply, Sabalenka. Cross court the backhand, Pegula. Sabalenka sprints and flies that one up the line, but long. Love hold for Pegula. Gets on the board in the third. She's down a break, though. And she is going to have to come from behind in this third set. Will the Western New York native? Yeah, absolutely right. Sabalenka has been very comfortable on serve really all night long. Just that stretch of 15 or 20 minutes where Pegula was playing amazing tennis. She broke the Sabalenka serve twice. Outside of that, Sabalenka has been nearly flawless when she has had the racket in her hands. Let's see. We got more comments. Ghosty says, "Is it Thanksgiving already?" Because Sabalenka be gobbling. Thank you very much for that. It'll be Thanksgiving before you know it. What, 2.5 months away? Let's see. Jay is with us. Is that it? Is that the? I just want to make sure I'm saying it right. Is it just Jay, or or can I not see correctly? I just want to make sure. Always want to refer to people the way they would like to be referred to as. Thank you. Says that backhand pattern was effective. Sabalenka to serve up the break at 2-1. Goes out wide, Pegula with the return. Up the middle, deep backhand, Sabalenka. Defended back Pegula with the lob. Overhead Sabalenka. It's right to Pegula, but she has spliced that backhand long. It's a silent J. That doesn't help of how to refer to them. Oh, dear. 15 love. At the 90-minute mark of this match, Sabalenka serves up the tee. Pegula blocks it back. Stinging cross-court backhand from Sabalenka, but Pegula got it back and clipped the let cord, and it died over on Sabalenka's side. It's 15-all. Don't you dare do that to Yelena Ostapenko, or you don't know what'll happen the next time she sees you outside of the U.S. Oh, my God. What a clown. 15-all. Sabalenka muscles that first serve long. You have to roll the J. Okay, very good. Second serve here from Sabalenka. Pegula with a backhand return. Oh, into the net goes Sabalenka here. It's 15-30. Pegula looking for any bit of the window to be opened. .30 serve Sabalenka. Oh, goodness, what a serve out wide. An ace at 112 and a huge scream let out after she unloaded that ace. Wow. I mean, what chance do you have to return that? 30-all. Into the net she goes on the first. Second serve here from Aryna. Pounds it out wide. Pegula can't shape it back. It's 40-30. I don't want to speak in, sensationalism like sports media loves to do these days. But boy, the Sabalenka serve is such a weapon. If she can keep refining it, it could be a serve that rivals Serena's by the time she gets to the end of her career. Another huge one out wide. Pegula can't get that anywhere close to in play. And Sabalenka fires back and holds for 3-1. Stays ahead by a break. But is this the time of the third set where Sabalenka may begin to wilter? We know what has happened before in big matches like this to her. Pegula serves. Sabalenka lines the return. Forehand Pegula. Big forehand. Cross-court Sabalenka. Pegula's there. Sabalenka unloads. Pegula passing shot winner. Into the deuce court with the backhand. 15 love. Pegula trying to stay within arm's distance. Misses the first serve here. Second serve, it's there. Sabalenka fires the return. Back in up the middle from Pegula. It's deep. Sabalenka has harpooned that forehand long. 30 love. Women's final here Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Winner of this match goes to that final to take on either Amanda Anisimova or Naomi Osaka. Osaka, former champion here. So is Sabalenka. Pegula serves out wide. Oh, Sabalenka. Oh, my goodness. Just fires that return back, but it's wide. Didn't miss the line by a lot. And it's 40 love. Pegula falls into the service motion. It goes out wide, and that return is pushed into the net from Sabalenka. So Pegula holds. Does stay within arm's distance, but it is still a lead for Aryna Sabalenka here at 3-2. They'll change sides. Yeah, just 2 double faults from Sabalenka. Like John says, night and day compared to what it once was. There was a time her serve was... it was very lethal to her opponents, but it was just as, if not more lethal to herself. She has come a long way in refining it, in making it better. It's made her a better player. It's made her the best player in the world, at least by the rankings. The rankings say that she's the best. Of course, she is the defending champion here. For Pegula, though, she has got to find a way, whether that is taking it over herself or just goading Sabalenka into some mistakes. Pegula's got to find a way to get at least 1 break back here. Doesn't necessarily have to have 2. Just get 1, and then keep holding your serve and go to a match tiebreak. Sabalenka to serve here at the near end. Up a break, 3-2 final set, just shy of 100 minutes. Serve out wide, Pegula the return. Cross-court backhand, Sabalenka. Twirled back by Pegula. Short ball, and Sabalenka takes care of it with a backhand winner up the line. $15 love. Jay says, good hold, but it'll be hard for her to get into a Sabalenka serve game. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Feels unlikely at this time, but you just never know. Here's Sabalenka. Off the let cord, that serve ricochets into row 7. And a catch made on a short hop over there by a patron over there in row 7. Here's Sabalenka's second serve. It's there to the backhand of Pegula. Cross-court, the backhand, Sabalenka. Pegula slices it up the middle. Up the middle goes Sabalenka. Cross-court, Pegula on the sprint, gets to it. Sabalenka off forehand error as she just pushes that long. 15 all. Yeah. Sean says craziest video was the umpire warning her about tanking when she was double faulting so much. 15 all serve Sabalenka. Ooh, a bit of a hitch in the service motion there as she misses up the tee. Yeah, the French Open. Oh my gosh, against Muhova. Oh my gosh. Second serve, it's there. Pegula with the return and steering a backhand wide. Cross court is Sabalenka. So we talk about Pegula getting into a return game. She's into this one, 15-30. Can she carry forward with this? We know Sabalenka can erase so much with the huge serve. Just talked about Serena's huge serve. Sabalenka can do a lot of what Serena used to do and eliminate mistakes by just flashing off those phenomenal serves. Missed first here from Sabalenka. Here comes her second at 15:30. It's into the back end of Pegula. Backpedaling up the middle. Sabalenka forehand up the middle. That's deep from Pegula. Sabalenka gets it back cross court forehand. Pegula, it's really good. Defended back Sabalenka. Drop shot Pegula. Sabalenka gets to it. Pegula's there at the net with a winning volley, and she's got break points. Pegula with the net coverage there. 2 break points coming her way. Drop shot was good, not great. The volley and her nerve was great. Chance to level it up. Sabalenka serves out wide and misses. The highest of dramas right here. Sabalenka puts it in. Backhand return Pegula. It's deep. Forehand Sabalenka. Cross court Pegula. Up the middle Sabalenka. Off forehand Pegula. Sabalenka angles it back. Short ball Pegula. Sabalenka forehand up the middle. The approach shot. She comes to the net. She hits a volley. And Pegula's there to throw up a lob. Overhead by Sabalenka's good. And it's a winner to save a break point. One more to come for Sabalenka to save. That was a 13-ball rally. It's a mental battle as much as it's a physical battle right now. 30-40, Pegula, another chance. Sabalenka, here she goes. Out wide to the back end of Pegula, cross court. Oh, Sabalenka with a backhand winner, cross court. Oh, my gracious. Staggering winner that as she goes back door and ran right through it. 2 break points saved. We're at deuce. We've hit the peak of this match. Sabalenka serves, backhand reply Pegula. Off balance forehand Sabalenka. Up the middle Pegula. 2-fisted backhand by Sabalenka. Up the middle goes Pegula. Drop shot by Sabalenka. It's sliced on back by Pegula. Picked up by Sabalenka. Backhand misses. Pegula with another break point. Jessica Pegula once again saddles the horse and cracks the whip with another chance to get back on serve in this third set. Here she goes. Sabalenka at the near end. Towering ball toss. Serve is into the net. Second serve is coming. Will Pegula attack it? Sabalenka's been going big on her seconds. Here she goes, second serve, it's there. Pegula with the return cross-court, backhand Sabalenka. It's sliced up the center by Pegula, picked up on an inside-out forehand Sabalenka. Goes big up the middle, Pegula's into the net. And we're at deuce again, Sabalenka with a very professional point. We are at deuce again. It's not the business end of the set, but it's the most dramatic part of it, perhaps, of this decider to make the U.S. Open final. Here is Sabalenka. High ball toss. Serve is down out wide. Pegula makes the return. Cross court the backhand. Sabalenka steered. Oh, Pegula cannot find a way to flex that back with the backhand, and Sabalenka has a game point to survive this service game. We're in the 105th minute of this match, and this is the most dramatic it's been. Sabalenka game point. Serves out wide. Oh, it did not miss by much, but I guess it did miss. Puts this one, whoa, missed that one too. Goes long on the second. A double fault there. Back to deuce. Third of the match from Aryna. Shakespeare may have written some plays, but he couldn't manufacture drama like this. We are at deuce. Pegula knows that she needs to take this opportunity with both hands. Sabalenka serves up the tee. Pegula's return is high, looping, lofts in. Off forehand, Sabalenka on the attack. Pegula defending, throws up a lob, letting it drop over the net. Sabalenka's overhead is slammed out of the court. And Sabalenka has another game point. Puts that away without error. For so much of this match, Aryna Sabalenka has been in control. Serves to the forehand of Pegula. That return flutters long. Sabalenka has survived that game and holds for 4-2. And that has to be a real mental letdown for Jessica Pegula to have the chances she did there and could not finish it. So now Sabalenka, she stays in the driver's seat. Now the question is, can Pegula pick herself up in this service game? Because, of course, if she were to lose serve here, Sabalenka will have a chance to serve for it at 5-2. And John makes a great point. It does feel like these are the matches that Sabalenka's lost all year in the majors. Pegula to serve. To the backhand of Sabalenka. Pegula backpedaling, hits a cross-court backhand. It's sharp. Off the let cord goes Sabalenka, and it ricochets wildly beyond the doubles alley, and it's 15-love. (15-love) as Pegula tries to stay within arm's distance here. Misses that first serve. Second serve is there. Sabalenka cracks the return with the backhand. Up the middle goes Pegula. Cross-court Sabalenka. Backhand there from Pegula was good, and Sabalenka has missed her backhand. It's into the mesh. She slaps the side of her left leg with the left hand. 30-love. She knows, because of how those matches have gone this year, she certainly knows after that game this is far from over. She has been the better player through most of this match, but objects in the mirror are closer than they may appear. Pegula serves, and the return on the backhand flies long from Sabalenka. Pegula's now won the last 11 points on her serve, including that one for 40-love. Point for 4-3. Serves out wide. Sabalenka's return is short. Pegula gets to it and slaps that away. Cross-court backhand winner to the back door. It's a love hold. 12 consecutive points on serve that Pegula has won. But that's not the problem right now for her. The problem is she has to come up with a break sometime, and sometime soon. We're at 4-3 in the third. Just inside the 2-hour mark of this semifinal. Osaka and Anisimova to follow, the winners to meet in Saturday's final, the final Grand Slam final of the WTA season. Ghosty says, honestly, respect to JPEG, brilliant return game, great hustle. Goes on to say, please don't tell anyone I said good things about Pegula's game. They'll kick me out of the union. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you, Ghosty. Yeah, the winners to unforced. Not a huge difference either way. Sabalenka at the start of this set was 26 winners to 16 unforced. And I believe at the start of this set, Pegula was 14-13, if I'm not mistaken. Well, we have we started the night by saying what a great semifinal card this was. The star power of the four players. Well, we're getting a really good semifinal here. Hopefully the second will be just as dramatic. Sabalenka at the far end, serving 4-3 out wide. Pegula makes the return. Backhand is stashed up the middle from Sabalenka. Cross court, the backhand Pegula up the line. Sabalenka, what a shot for 15 love. An unorthodox stance to hit that backhand, but boy, did she strike it clean, and strike it well she did. 15 love. All she has to do is hold serve twice more. Serves out wide, Pegula's return is there. Up the line, another winner from Sabalenka. Another backhand winner up that same line in the deuce court. $30 love. Sabalenka, huge serve there. Pegula with the return. Oh, Sabalenka picks a strange time to try to drop in a drop shot and dropped it into the net. Still 30-15. Sabalenka serves up the tee. Pegula somehow makes the return again, going up that line with the backhand. Sabalenka, this time it just drifts wide. $30 Sabalenka. That serve is into the net. Second serve coming here. Sabalenka. Oh, wow. It's a terrible double fault. And she's just thrown the racket into the floor. And she's thrown her arms up into the air. Wow. It's obviously a terribly timed double fault. It's a frustrating one. But wow, her emotions. And we know that she does run emotional, but that's kind of surprising. She hasn't shown a ton of negative emotion tonight. That's kind of come out of nowhere. Pegula, break point. Sabalenka serves out wide. Pegula with the return. Backdoor winner, Sabalenka. Maybe that's all it takes is for her to get upset with herself. We're at deuce. Racing that break point, Sabalenka. Serves, Pegula fights it off, gets it back. Cross-court forehand, Sabalenka is just is impossible to believe sometimes. And Pegula's unable to shape that back in. Now a game point for Sabalenka. She has shown the resolve of a champion when she's needed to these last couple of games, Sabalenka. Point for 5-3 and be on the cusp. Sabalenka serves out wide, misses. Pegula's got both feet just inside the baseline here for this second serve return. Sabalenka powers it in. Backhand return, Pegula deep. Cross court the backhand. Sabalenka drop shot, Pegula. Sabalenka's there. Pushes it into the net. We're at deuce. Thank you, Ghosty, as always. And it has been a tremendous match. You of course, are always appreciated. Sabalenka He's been saving plenty of break points lately, as John says. Not a break point here, it's deuce. I mean, just flashes that serve up the tee. Pegula the return, big forehand Sabalenka. Pegula can't get that back. I mean, as powerful as you like on both the serve and then the forehand. When you watch her strike it like that, you can't imagine that she lost to Madison Keys this year. You can't imagine that she lost to Coco Gauff this year. You can't imagine that she lost to Amanda Anisimova this year. It has been, in the slams, a disappointing exit in all three. Serves out wide, misses. She has another point for 5-3, losing in 2 finals and a semifinal. She has to be thinking at times how easily she could be at 5, 6, 7 slams. Serves here. Backhand return, Pegula up the middle. Forehand, Sabalenka. Pegula ranges to get to that cross-court forehand. To the back door goes Sabalenka. Pegula's into the net. Sabalenka does hold. Big pump of the fist. She's a game away from the final again at 5-3. Pegula serving to stay in the United States Open. Not only do you wonder if she wonders at times, could she be at 5 or 6 slams or even 7 as Pegula serves into the net, but you almost have to wonder how close she would be coming to this U.S. Open looking to win the calendar year slam. As she fires a backhand return at Pegula, who puts a forehand into the ad court corner, looped back Sabalenka. Backing up the line, Pegula didn't do enough with it. Up with the lob, Sabalenka. Overhead on the backhand by Pegula. Sabalenka's there. Cross court, the backhand, Pegula. Sliced up the middle, Sabalenka. She's neutralized the point. She'll slice one up the middle. Pegula picks it up. Hits a forehand winner. It's 15-love. I know that's in the land of what if, and we only live in the land of what's actually happened and happening. But it is quite amazing to think how so close Sabalenka has been to arriving to New York, going for the calendar year slam. If she could have just one more set over Keys, one more set over Gauff, and finished off Anisimova to have a chance at Swiatek at Wimbledon. But instead, she's going for her first slam of the year. Backhand return, Sabalenka. Up the line, Pegula's hit a clean backhand winner for 30-love. Pegula's won 14 straight points on her serve. Serves to the backhand of Sabalenka and make that 15 in a row. That backhand misses from Sabalenka long. Pegula serves up the tee, and that return from Sabalenka misses. It's been an incredible run for Pegula on her serve. 16 straight points, 4 consecutive love holds. But now, there is no tomorrow, there is no next time for Jessica Pegula. As these two players will change ends, Pegula thinks about one sole target now. She must break the Sabalenka serve in this next game, or it's all over. What an incredible match this has been. It has lived up to the hype. And now with the finish line straight ahead of Aryna Sabalenka, the question is, can she lunge across that finish line and serve this out? Or are we due one more twist and or turn? Incredible drama. Incredible battle between these two. Sabalenka owns a 7-2 head-to-head edge against Pegula. And the last 3 that she had won had all been in straight sets. But tonight, Pegula has fought. She's battled. Is the battle about to come to an end? Sabalenka serves for a spot in the final right here. At the near end, serves out wide to the Pegula forehand. Up the line, Sabalenka serve +1 winner. We're a minute shy of 2 hours in this match. Sabalenka has won 80% of the points on her first serve in this set. Serves here out wide. Pegula on the return. Up the line of backhand Sabalenka. Pegula sprints to it. Throws up a defensive lob. It lands just inside the baseline. Sabalenka has to recoil and hit a forehand up the middle. Pegula cross court. Up the line. Sabalenka off the let court. Brings Pegula back into it. And without mistake, Pegula hits a forehand winner into the deuce court corner. Bit of a fortunate break there. Sabalenka has only dropped serve in this match a couple of times. But she has been living on a knife's edge the last couple of service games. 15 all serve here, out wide misses. The time is now for one of these two. Sabalenka serves. Pegula backhand return up the middle. Flat backhand Sabalenka. Cross court. Oh, Pegula misses it. Oh, boy, that is an important miss there from Pegula. She's missed it cross court with the backhand long. 30-15. Sabalenka is 2 points away. Sabalenka. Up the tee, the serve misses. Second serve. Puts it in. Pegula returns back in up the middle. Lashed back by Sabalenka. Cross court the forehand. Pegula hits deep. Sabalenka a slip. She regathers herself. Cross court forehand Pegula. Sabalenka's there. Cross court the backhand Pegula. And cross court goes Sabalenka. She misses. Pegula has a shadow of a chance at 30 all. Here comes Sabalenka at 30 all. Boy, if she could buy just 2 big first serves, it'd be worth its weight in gold. She finds one here. Ace up the tee. As once again, Aryna Sabalenka throws down the gauntlet and tells Jessica Pegula, if you want to play a game of horsepower, I'll play. Match point for a spot in the final. Does she have one more in her? Sabalenka regathers herself, pauses on the service motion. Now here she goes. High ball toss, serve down. Pegula blocks it back. It's short. Sabalenka, big forehand up the line into the deuce court corner. Lob up Pegula, letting it drop. Sabalenka overhead is into the net. Impossible. Oh, my gracious. Oh, it's such a terrible overhead. It's a terrible overhead at a terrible time. Lunging at it, chopping at it, and putting it into the mesh. It's deuce. Pegula with a lifeline. How does she refocus herself after that, Sabalenka? Here's her first effort in trying. It's a serve out wide. Pegula with the return. A cross-court backhand is a winner from Sabalenka. The 1-2 punch is still as good as perhaps any in the women's game. Another match point. She hit that backhand winner at 78 miles per hour. If she could hit a serve right here in a perfect spot at 110 miles an hour, she'll be in the victory circle and be heading back to the final. Sabalenka serves to the backhand of Pegula. Short ball on the return. Off forehand, Sabalenka. Pegula. Oh, what a shot from Pegula to keep it alive! Drops a bomb with the backhand at the ankles of Sabalenka. She couldn't pick it up. It's deuce again. Oh. That serve was at 115. Deuce. Sabalenka out wide on the serve. Pegula's return. Oh, it just drops long. It was well positioned, and it's just missed the baseline. Here comes match point number 3. Sabalenka with another chance. Toss up, serve down, up the tee, blocked back by Pegula. Forehand winner from Sabalenka! The third time is the charm! And she's going back to the U.S. Open final. She roars out in exhaustion and perhaps, and very much perhaps, in pure relief. She lived on a knife's edge in her last 3 service games of that match. But she survives and advances and dances her way into another U.S. Open final, her 3rd major final of the year. Another hard court final for Sabalenka. And another Jessica Pegula loss, where she'll be left to think about the fine margins of where it was lost. She played a fine match tonight, Jessica Pegula, across 125 minutes against the world's number 1 ranked player in front of this home crowd. She played a fine match. Unfortunately, Sabalenka, from start to finish, was just that little bit better. And when she's serving the way she's serving tonight, I don't know who touches Aryna Sabalenka. The double faults were limited. The serves were powerful. The ground strokes were seismic. Either way, the final that we're going to get Saturday is going to be the is it going to be the hardest hitting Grand Slam final in women's history? It's going to be Sabalenka against either Osaka or Anisimova. All carry all sorts of weight and power behind every ground stroke. We're going to have one hell of a final Saturday. We just had one hell of a semifinal here on Thursday. And another one to come with Osaka and Anisimova. It's Aryna Sabalenka going to yet another Grand Slam final. It is her 12th straight match win here at the U.S. Open. Jessica Pegula was indeed a stubborn foe tonight, but Sabalenka is able to cross the finish line with great class. She is into the final of a Grand Slam for the 7th time in the last 11 slams that she has been present for. It's her 55th match win of the season. And now she prepares for Saturday. As I said, either way, against a hard hitter that can give her problems like Osaka or Anisimova. And oh my goodness, we are just at this point counting down the hours, counting down the minutes until we get to Saturday's final. She's the first woman to advance to 3 straight U.S. Open finals since Serena Williams did it. Wow, wow, wow. And we know she is an emotional player. We know that she carries those emotions on her sleeves. They came out at times tonight. But she is just so, so good. So, so good. If she does play Naomi Osaka on Saturday, it will be just the second time that they have ever played. The only other time that Sabalenka and Osaka have met was right here at the U.S. Open, a fourth-round encounter in 2018. How long ago does 2018 feel like for everybody, but especially for these two tennis players, how different they are, how much that they have grown as tennis players and people in these 7 years. Osaka won that match 7 years ago, 6-4 in the third set, the only time that those two players have ever met. If she were to play Amanda Anisimova, that is a matchup that has been played a little bit more in the past. 9 times those two have played, and Anisimova has played well against Sabalenka. In fact, Anisimova owns a 6-3 advantage on Sabalenka in their 9 meetings, of course, including the 6-4 third set semifinal at Wimbledon earlier this year. They also played at the French Open earlier this year in the 4th round. Sabalenka won that in straight sets. They have, in fact, played Sabalenka and Anisimova at every slam except the U.S. Open. What a tremendous match and a tremendous environment that's going to continue with Osaka and Anisimova coming up here in just a few moments. Huge thank you to everyone that joined us. This was a tremendous show, tremendous battle. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Can't wait to be back here Saturday. And before I sign off here, as I said earlier, it was the last match of just a heroic broadcasting career for Cliff Drysdale, who has been on the microphones at tennis courts for ESPN ever since ESPN started in 1979. He retires after this match, and what a match for him to go out. A huge thanks to Cliff Drysdale for everything that he's done for us American tennis viewers. Hopefully he enjoys retirement. Hopefully he enjoyed this match. I think we all did. Aryna Sabalenka in 3 sets over Jessica Pegula. She goes to the U.S. Open final. Stay tuned here on the channel here, because coming up in just a few moments, it's our second semi between Osaka and Anisimova. For me, good night.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.